Welcome to Shop Talk here in the shop. We're at Cool Beans Coffee Shop in West Sayville, and I'm here with my friends and colleagues, Paul DiLandro and John Ledermann from DiLandro Engineering. Paul,
Good
John, yeah, you too.
See you.
So, this conversation comes up all the time about, an architect versus an engineer.
So we assist or complement the architecture in that it's the function of what it is and what it looks like as
Right.
the architect, and it's our job to take that and make sure that now it's going to meet the needs of
Right.
the people using that
Right.
building in
Right.
the case of residents.
Right. So in our practice, I'd say 70% of our work is in the residential space.
Mhm.
The other 30%, right, is going to be historical institutional. Sometimes I'm crawling around in an old steeple in an Episcopal church and built in 1840 whatever, and I'm climbing up a ladder looking at nails that were forged by a blacksmith.
Right.
Old, right? Then we've done a firehouse for Garden City. We've done some firehouse work for New Hyde Park, and like let's say on Garden City, we have a municipal new build construction. It is normal for the architect to then bring in the structural engineer, right? It's a steel construction building. There's loads and big spans and equipment, and then there's a separate mechanical engineer, plumbing, like MEP, to handle that piece of it.
Yep.
And then all of your information comes in and then we coordinate it, right? So that's very clear in the commercial space. When you get to the residential space, like the processes that are in, like when I go over to the, when we were dealing with the Governor's Office of Storm Recovery, I'm dealing with a government agency with a trained project manager who is the liaison between the state and design professionals and the contractors. And we all talk shop. Right? We're talking this language, and I don't have to explain this to you. But now you go to the homeowners, and it's like the Wild West.
Previous to working with you guys and stuff, people were like, "Oh, okay, we need a septic design." We send them a list of stuff they need, and we couldn't provide floor plans for them. It wasn't beneficial to them.
Right.
Because if either we've done a few jobs, we got the hand drawn sketches, and I'm like, what is going on here? And at that point, you're in a situation where I'm like, okay, we got to get this permit in,
Right.
Okay, I guess I got to go look at this house and verify what's going on, because if I try to give this to the health department, they're going to laugh at us.
That's correct.
And at the same time, at least I don't know of anybody that's refined the process to the way that you have, where you can get, like, an architect, a professional, can come in and get floor plans that are as accurate as you do, without charging a fortune to do it.
Correct.
Calling someone and saying, "Hey, I don't need I need floor plans that show the bedrooms, rough layout, whatever," and they'd be like, "Okay, I can't do that."
Right.
Good luck finding a professional to do that. That's going to get there within a reasonable amount of time, and then give you floor plans again in a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
I mean, because don't forget, we can't move forward until we get the floor plans.
Correct. Correct.
So now we're waiting on the surveyor. We're waiting on the test hole. We're waiting on the markouts, and we're waiting on floor plans.
Right.
And, at this point, we're kind of quarterbacking this endeavor.
Right.
And the homeowner, early on, we used to get signed proposals, contracts, and the homeowner would be like, "Hey, so what's going on?" And we're like, "Well, hey, Mr. Homeowner, I appreciate getting to work with you, but you haven't sent us
any of these pieces." Right.
We're not doing anything until you get.
Right.
Oh, well, what
I didn't
do to
know.
get a floor plan?
Right. Exactly.
Or even worse, maybe they did that. Maybe they said, "Oh yeah, I told you I called so and so to get a floor plan."
Right.
I'm like, "Well, what's he doing?" "Oh, I don't know."
Right.
Well, with your services now, they get to schedule it.
Right.
Scheduling's better. They
Yep.
know where the plans are.
Yep.
They have an interface that's professional.
Yep.
And they can get what they need to
Yep.
promptly
Yep.
to move forward.
And that's the problem. Is that the like you said, astutely said, was the average architecture firm isn't designed to go do this work. You can have top quality, low cost, or top speed. You get to pick two of them. You can't have all three.
Yeah.
But as business owners, we said, why can't you have top quality? Why can't you have fast speed? Why can't you have low cost? In order for you to do your work, you need floor plans of the whole structure,
Every structure. Yeah.
Right? So you need floor plans of every structure.
Detached garage,
pool houses,
Yep.
everything, right?
Every level.
Every level of the house, right? Where it's conditioned. And not the attic,
Not the attic, but if you.
But you need a basement though.
If there's a staircase going up,
Going to it,
the
right.
health department will ask you
If
what
the
is up
stair
there.
is connected, they want to know where it is, right? So
Even if you have crawl space stairs down there, and you show
They
that
want-
stairs, they
they
love
want to
catching
know,
that.
right?
They love it.
If you have it like an odd, like here in Sayville, they have what we call granny attics. You go, it looks like a closet, but stairs up.
Yeah.
Right. So, so all of this
Gotta need
has
one.
to be snagged.
Yep.
Okay. You need a proper survey to your requirements, which is not a title survey. You need a test bore, which is like a corkscrew that goes down to the ground, and they bring out a soil sample to tell you what kind of dirt you're in.
Yep.
Right. You need your markouts of utilities. Anything else?
It depends. You need to know first and foremost. One of the most important things is how water is getting provided to the house.
Oh, water, right?
Because obviously
Yeah,
water is
right.
one of the
Seeping
most
into it, right?
resources we all need.
So if you have well water, is an issue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're in an area where wells are present, now you're talking
Yeah,
a
you got
lot of information.
right. Got it. Okay.
You need to know the.
So they have to asterisk that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's what you need to do your work. Soft costs, when you add all of this up between the survey, between the test board, the utility stakeouts, the floor plans, your fees,
It's close to 10,000.
you're gonna be about 10 G's
Yeah.
for this. You're starting at 17 for the install, probably on average 25 to 30. So when you're all in, you're probably pushing $40,000 to $50,000. Let's say you had to give the homeowner advice when they're looking at a new purchase. So what would you tell them?
I'd say, if you're looking at a new purchase, it'd be valuable to have someone come out and inspect the septic system. And then, I would have a preliminary conversation, either your homeowner or investor, with either an architect, like yourself, or an engineer if you're considering doing any work. From an architect's perspective, you need an architect to plan what you're going to do anyway.
Yep.
From an engineering perspective, if you're just looking like, hey, the septic, I got an inspection report from a septic company, and they said the septic doesn't meet the code requirements. Well, now it's worth that second level of due diligence to say, hey, I contacted, DiLandro, an engineering firm, and they said, okay, you have these results. What am I looking at if I did have to replace the septic?
Right.
And I think that's just some good due diligence.
That's a due diligence that hasn't been in the past. So this is new.
It's
All this is new. And is this an option?
It's for people to do it.
Yeah. Is this like, do they really have to put these systems in?
Oh, if you're doing it.
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
The answer is yes.
It's not
Right.
an option. It's not like
Non-option. Right.
A lot of times
county
it
code.
comes down to I can put this system in
Right.
and do an addition or renovation, or I cannot do anything,
Right.
or I can do a
The system first, and then wait, and then right.
wait,
Right.
or I could do a kitchen.
Right.
I could replace a kitchen.
Right.
And when it's not a major renovation, it's starting to get into there's a nuance there that we could study.
Right.
The
Right.
architect and the engineer will
Yep.
study to say, hey, is it required or not?
Right.
But if you're planning ahead, you don't know what you're doing, or you're doing a renovation. If you know you're doing a big renovation,
Right.
you got to figure that $50,000 is coming.
Right. Now, so just so we, some of the homeowners here or the investors, so that we don't totally freak everybody out, right? They can do work in their home and it not affect,
Absolutely.
right? They could do direct replacements, right?
You could do windows, doors.
Windows, doors. So like John, like what would be like the delineation of like when is this getting flagged if they're doing what?
Any kind of major reconstruction. The county defines that typically as increasing the value of the home by 50% with whatever your proposed.
So increased value of 50%.
Yep.
Even though they don't change the bedroom count,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So they buy an old house from 1964,
Yep.
original built, nothing done to it, and now they're going to do a gut reno rehab of this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Gut demo.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going to they bought it for $650 and they're going to put $3 and change into it. That would be what we're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Substantial improvement.
Yep.
No bedroom count,
Yeah.
but a substantial improvement.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, anything like that. If you're going to be changing the amount of bedrooms that you have, and
as Suffolk County defines it.
yeah, as Suffolk County defines it.
So you add it, you're finishing a basement.
Yeah.
And you're putting in a gym
Mhm.
and an office. Everyone's working from home now. They want to put an office in their basement.
Yep.
And, I don't know, whatever else people do in their basement, a gaming room for the kids.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. They're going to put egress windows in here. They're doing it legit.
Mhm.
But now I got basically 4 enclosed spaces with 4 means of egress,
Yep.
that's usually
that's going to trigger.
that's triggering.
Yeah, that's going to trigger the county to consider those potential bedroom spaces.
Right.
So yeah, that would cause that.
And then people come in and say to me, "Well, there's only 3 of us in the house. Like I got 1 kid. Maybe we're gonna have a second one, but but they're not looking at the family. They're looking at the life history of the building. What's the potential? Could somebody come in here and stuff a bedroom down here? They don't care about the bathrooms. They care about how you could have 1 bathroom but 7 bedrooms.
Yeah.
You could have 7 bathrooms and 1 bathroom, right? There's a
and it makes sense when you think about it, right? It doesn't.
Yeah.
The amount of people you have in the house.
What's
whether
the
you have 1 bathroom
right.
or 5?
What's the life history of this building in relation to the potential capacity of people living here?
Exactly.
And that's what they have to size it for.
Something also to consider, the traditional septic systems, a lot of times you could install them in what they commonly refer to as a low line system, where if you did have a full basement and you had a bathroom in your basement, you could, plumb everything gravity fed through your basement, through the basement slab, out to a septic system that was probably living, 7 to 8 feet underground, probably about the depth of your basement and a little bit more. These new systems by code can only be placed about maximum 3 feet underground.
So now that's not working.
So in a lot of cases, what people need to be considering is if they are doing those renovations and they do have that existing condition, you're going to be replumbing your basement, likely adding sump pumps in a mechanical room.
Yeah. These are landmines that people are going to be stepping on.
Potentially.
Right. And that's why I really wanted to have you guys here, because this is, there's some urban legend that's lingering out there. Like, oh, what do you mean this isn't a bedroom? Or what do you mean if I keep 1 wall of the building up, they're going to tax me at the old rates? Like, you hear all this crazy stuff from yesteryear, and this is not, 3 buddies in 1934 with the case of Rheingold in Long Beach slapping together something with driftwood that we found on the beach.
Yeah.
We're in 2022.
Yeah.
A highly regulated structure. Nobody would believe the bureaucracy unless you saw it firsthand. It's a job unto itself. Oh my God. So all of it adds up, and these are competitive numbers we're talking about. We see it all the time. We're competing in the marketplace, so, if we've scared some of the folks out there, not the intent. It's really to get you good information so you can make good decisions. And if you have a need for, septic, you boys are our go-to firm. For as sexy as all that sounds, I'd love to come in and measure your floor plans. I love coming out and doing something simple like that, because the average architect's going to step over that like it's a tin can. We treat it like gold, like all of our clients.
We need it. You guys have been tremendous for us.
Cool.
That's filled a niche that we were, was a thorn in our side for a long time.
Good. I'm glad we can do that. Good. Well, thanks for coming in, John. Cool.
That blade, oh beautiful for spacious skies, and God bless America.